Dragonites out there. This may be a sad story. I'm gonna be talking about part of my life, or at least like a decent part of it. So, yeah, let's get this started. I'm gonna tell you, like, as far back as I can remember first, I guess. Gotta start somewhere. But, well, my life hasn't been the best life. I'm not saying it's been the worst, because there's probably someone out there who could, like, one-up me if they wanted. But my life's not the best one out there. So, as far back as I can remember, I lived in this big white house. It was beautiful. I was happy. I got to watch TV all the time. I got to play games. I got to play with toys. Around the time my little sister was born, we had some family over. Now, you know that saying, uh, something about no monkeys jumping on the bed? One fell off and bumped his head. We were jumping from the bed to a chair. None of us thought anything of it. We were kids. We were like we were less than 5 years old, actually. And well, I jumped to the chair. I made it perfectly. Right in the middle. I was like, alright, I made it. They did it back. And I was like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. It was me and two of my cousins. I can't remember who the cousins were. I just remember two of them being there. Well, when I jumped back, I slipped. Just my tiny little 5-year-old mind couldn't comprehend what was going to happen. I thought, okay, I'll just land on the floor, I'll get up, I'll jump again. So I didn't try and stop myself or anything. I just thought I would smack into the ground and be okay. No. When I slipped, I was part way in the air. So the momentum carried me to the bottom of the bed. My head smashed against the metal bed frame and left me with a scar. There was blood everywhere, all over me, all over the bottom of the bed. So, I freaked out. What else were you gonna do? You're a little kid. You freak out. As I ran fast throughout the house, trying to find people to help me. Trying to find any of the adults. My mom, my dad, their parents, I don't care. I ran. Now keep in mind, this is all from my point of view. I didn't do any research. This is all everything I remember. Because I don't talk to my mother that much, and I don't talk to my father that much. We'll get on all that topics later and everything. But for now, let's keep talking. So, as I was running through the house, I was leaving a blood trail. I was screaming at the top of my little lungs. My cousins were screaming. We were all tiny little kids. We're all close to the same age range. We were just running it. We were booking it. We didn't want any of that. So as we ran fast. They were looking everywhere. I started looking upstairs, nothing. No one in any of the rooms. They ran downstairs to the normal part of the house, nothing, no one. So one of them ran down into the basement real quick, nothing, no one was home. So we all started having to freak out, and then we saw one door was closed. The bathroom door. So I ran up to it, and I'm a very polite person when it comes to bathrooms. I knock, I wait. No one answers, I knock about 2 more times. No one answers again, I'll test the knob before I open the door. I'll pull it so that it doesn't open when I turn the knob. I'll jiggle it a little just to see if anybody's in there. Because, you can hear the knob jiggle on the other side, and they'll be like, hey, someone's in here. Even though they didn't respond when you knocked and everything, but hey, that's just how it goes. I can't play Terrace Hunt, so I'm gonna do this. But yeah, like, No one answers. Nothing. So I'm like, okay. So I yank open the door and slam into it. And there my mom is, just sitting there looking at the sink. I don't know what the fuck she was doing, but she was just sitting right there. But she was just looking in the mirror. She looked over at me and she's like, "Oh my god, Trevor, what'd you do?" And like, I was drenched in blood. It looks like you threw me in a fucking, like a bath filled with it at this time. And I just looked at her. I just stared at her like she didn't hear any of the screaming. She didn't hear anything at all. And you know, that to me, that was phenomenal. Like, I don't know how she couldn't have heard any of it. So we ended up going to the hospital, and I pass out. I pass out on the drive there. But by the time I wake up and I look in the mirror, like the mirror the doctor holds for me, there's a little scar on my forehead. It's probably faded by now, but it was the shape of like a weird lightning bolt, almost like Harry Potter's. But that was probably from like the corner piece, and then like, cause I jumped at an angle, so it must have hit the corner and then like part of the side, and like I must have slid my head when I fell. That's why it made a weird shape. But yeah, there's that story out of the way. So basically, for the rest of that year, I was constantly called Harry Potter, because I had my long hair back then. Like, I was super little. I had my long blondish brownish hair, because when I was littler I used to have blonde hair. It was just natural. I've never once dyed my hair, never once. So I had kind of blonde hair, and I was like, alright, cool, I got a scar. Yeah, everybody's gonna like me, they're gonna be my friends, they're gonna say, hey Trevor, you're awesome. No, people looked at me and constantly said, Harry Potter, go back to Hogwarts. Harry Potter, where's Voldemort? Just constantly bullying. Just everywhere. Just, I didn't know how to react to it. Because to me, I was little. I thought a scar would be cool because, you know, hey, you got part of your life to tell. You got a story. You got everything you would want. No, that's not what they want. That's not what kids want nowadays. And that's not kids wanted ever. They don't want to be nice. They don't want to be friendly. They just want to be accepted, so they do what the majority does, which is harass people. Sorry if I go quiet every so often. I am playing this live stream, so, you know, it's not over a video or anything. Because I don't really like it when people do that all that much, but still. But, yeah. That's what kids thought were cool. To bully little kids. And the bigger kids were even worse. Well, that was fast. Alright. Oh well. I don't care. But yeah, they were sitting there bullying me. So that was around like 4 or 5-ish. So let's skip ahead a few months or so. I had a lot of friends back then when I was littler. Oh, not a lot of friends. I had like 3, maybe 4. I'd say maybe 5 at the most ish. So I didn't know where any of my friends ever lived. So I thought, hey, it would be cool if I figured it out and we talked sometime. And no, it didn't work, I guess. Like, I figured out where they lived, but I lived in a big white house, narrow road, and down behind the house was a trailer park. They lived inside that trailer park somewhere. I didn't fucking know where, and I just followed them. By the time I found out where they lived, I was lost. I was a tiny kid lost in the middle of a trailer park. So I spent the next like 30 minutes running around trying to figure everything out. Hold I'm gonna tell them real quick that I'm doing this. Never mind, I can't tell them. It doesn't want to work, but okay. So, what I did was, I was lost. I was a little kid. I was in a trailer park. I don't panic this time like I did last time. I'm not kicking him out because I don't know who the fuck that is. Oh, never mind. I probably should have, but hey, you gotta give people opportunities and chances. You have to, even if they're low level. You gotta give them a chance. It's casual. How else are they supposed to level up and train? Like, they could play Terrorist Hunt, yes, but still, you should give them a chance. But, yeah. So what I did was, as I was running down, like, trying to figure out my way out, I would walk over off the road. I grabbed up a bunch of dirt, and every so often, I would just run through, and I would put some dirt, like, on the side of the road, pointing outwards and then up. So kind of to make an L shape. Like, every so often I did that just to see. Like, just to see if I could find my way out. I had eventually found my way out, but it took me about an hour. But yeah, that's what made it so that I hate being alone. I was trapped in the middle of a giant area, all alone, and I didn't know where I was, what I was supposed to do. Because, you know, you don't tell a little kid that. And when my parents finally saw me, they were like, "Hey, Trevor, where have you been?" And I was just like, I was alone, in a trailer park, unsupervised. "Oh, that's good, honey. Now go play." Like, what? They didn't react at all or anything. I was in the middle of a fucking trailer park, and no one said jack shit to me at all. And I didn't know how to respond to any of that. Sorry if my voice sounds weird, it's just, I get very emotional. I'm bad about that. But yeah, that's another little life event. We moved to Florida shortly after that, but there's another memory I have. I went to a couple of my friends' houses. Now, these were girls that were my friends. Don't be going, ooh, girlfriends. No, these were my childhood friends. I was only like fucking 7 at the time or so. Yeah, around 7-ish. But yeah, we went over to their house, and I remember because they had this awesome bed. Like this super awesome bed, I remember. That was like crazy fun to play with. Just gonna blow this up. But yeah, like, I went over, we had fun. I was at an awesome bed. We were all just jumping around on it. Nothing bad happened, it's just, for the first time ever, I could actually have fun. And I was just like, this is awesome. Is this what normal kids do? And they just look at me, and they're, like, question everything I say. They are like, normal kids? And I was just like, yeah, like, is this what you guys do for fun? And they just looked at me, like, what do you mean, normal kids, fun? Don't you do this all the time? But I didn't get to jump on a bed. Last time I jumped on a bed, I smashed my skull open. But yeah, like, they looked at me like I was crazy. So we all decided to shut up and put on a movie. I think they, like, felt bad for me or something. We ended up playing hide and seek later that day. My little kid dumbass thought it would be a great idea to hide on top of an RV. Because there was a little ladder, just barely enough for me to be able to reach. Because I was a short person, I really was. I was super short when I was little. So I just barely was able to climb up on top of it. And I was just sitting there, like, haha, you'll never find me. I'm a ninja. No, they completely forgot about me and just sat there. Like, they went back inside after a while and just, like, didn't do anything. They just kind of sat there and looked at me like I was, like, well, they didn't look at me. They just, like, sat there, and I was just stuck. I started screaming, asking for help from people, because I couldn't get down. I was scared I was going to bust my head open again. No one said anything that I was gone. I finally, like, built up the courage to get down, and, like, they instantly were just looking at me and shit. Like, where have you been? What are you doing? I'm trying to tell them to fucking reinforce that wall right there. But, yeah. That's what led up to my whole fucking being terrified of heights ever since I was little. I'm getting shot at, aren't I? Oh no, they broke it so that way it insta-breaks if someone is outside. Yep, like that. I'm just gonna re-barricade this. 1, 2. And then I'm gonna do this. What are you guys... Why? Oh my god, fucking idiots. Oh well, it's fine. They can try and play this strat if they want. But I'm sure as hell not. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, that's what led up to me being scared of heights. So, yeah. Damn it! I saw a kill in the top left, well, top right, and I thought that, you know, they killed him. I did some extra damage with the cap can. That's good. But yeah, that's what led to that event. There's nothing on camera, so I'm no use. I'm just... See, nothing. No one ever. Here, I'll just let you watch this. That's what led to my fear of heights. And well, like after we moved and everything, I just kind of sat there. Like, we moved down to Florida after. I didn't know what was supposed to happen. Like, they just said, "Hey, Trevor, we're gonna go on a road trip."
All friendlies were eliminated.
And I was just like, "Oh, okay, fun. We're probably just going to the lake or something fun. Just a little trip, and then we'll be back." So, I go out, I get in the car. And next thing I know, what was that? My stomach destroyed me. Like, it did not agree with me going and fucking, like, we instantly left town. We were gone. And like, my stomach started making weird noises, like, about halfway through the trip. I didn't know where we were going, and I was a little worrisome, so I asked, "Hey, where are we going?" And they just look at me, and they're like, "We're just going on a trip, bud, don't worry." And I was just like, "Oh, okay, cool." And it was days, like, this was about 2 days in, and I was just like, we were constantly on the road. We never stopped for a hotel or anything. Like, we didn't stop, and like, I was like maybe like 8 or 9 at the time, and I was just looking around, and like, instantly I looked out the window, and I guess I was looking out for too long or something, because I went all over the back of the car, all over myself.
Insertion in 5 seconds.
And that's when they told me, hey, you have motion sickness. And I was just like, what's that? Because I was a little kid. I was oblivious. Oh great, they have a vigil. That's fun.
Biohazard container located.
But yeah, and then they just say, it means you can't be in a car for too long, bud.
One out 4 remaining.
That's good. We're about to win.
Secure the room. Protect the bio container. Cease securing the room. Op 4 neutralized.
That was easy. But yeah, so I had motion sickness for the rest of my life. Fucking sucks trying to ride on a Ferris wheel. Oh, no, yeah, actually, I can't even ride on a Ferris wheel. I never tried. Because I was afraid, because, you know, a fucking high up place. So I never got to do that. So, skip ahead a couple years. I have some new friends. I'm in a new school. I found a kid with the same exact name with me, and I thought, hey, we must be twins. Because I didn't know how twins worked back then. But anyways, I just kind of sat there. You know, not doing anything. And, like, I was about to go into a shower. And, like, I noticed something. Something on my leg.
We need to protect the biohazard container. Secure the room.
So, we went to the hospital because it was a bulge. It was giant. It was fucking this. It was the size of a softball, actually.
Op 4 drone has found the biohazard
So when we got to the hospital, that's exactly what they told us. You have a tumor on your leg the size of a softball. And like, I was stupid. I didn't know what that meant. I was like, what does that mean? And he said, we're probably gonna have to amputate your leg. Like, he told my mom that they're gonna have to amputate my leg. And I was like, what does that mean?
10 seconds to insertion.
And she said, don't worry, Trevor, you're gonna get a robot. Like, you're gonna be awesome. You're gonna be a cyborg. And I was
5
like,
seconds
oh,
to insertion.
sweet. I get to be a robot. And I was just like super hyper and happy and everything because I was like, I'm gonna be a robot. That's not what it meant. So I'm walking around the hospital, like talking to the nurses and stuff, telling them I'm gonna be a robot, like super hyper and shit and happy and all that fun jazz. No, that's not at all what any of that means. I'm gonna put this here just so it's difficult for them to get in. So like a few days later, I'm just sitting there. Oh fuck. And like I get put under.
Take out the hostile.
And I'm just like sitting there. And when I wake up, I still have my leg. So I get mad. Because I was told robot leg, not, you know, perfectly normal, healthy leg. Like a fully robotic leg and everything. And the doc didn't even fucking try and heal me before he died. Alright.
Op 4, last operator standing. One friendly remaining.
Come on, you see him. Don't be stupid. So, I tried to get up out of the bed to go and scream at one of the hospital people. Because, you know, I wanted a robot leg. Like, I was thinking of super high-tech, robotic, all this stuff. like all sciencey stuff. No. I was later like told like what actually I was gonna have. It was gonna be a prosthetic limb. Like, I don't have anything against that, but like, a kid shouldn't have to face reality and see that kind of a thing at such a little age and young age. Like, there's no reason for that. And it's just sitting there. So I just sat there and I was like, alright, well, you know, at least I didn't have it, so what's the big deal? And I try to get up. I fall. Hard. I slam into the ground. Because my leg's too weak to actually do anything, so I'm on bed rest. And I'm just like, that's fine, I guess. So just as I'm sitting there, I can't do anything. And I scream for help. I finally get a nurse and they help me up. They say, Trevor, you can't walk. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to walk around for a bit. And I'm just like, well, why not? Well, because, honey, your leg doesn't work very well anymore.
Mission failed. All friendlies were eliminated.
And I just looked at her like, I'm dumbfounded. And I was like, of course my leg works. I was running and riding my bike all the time just fine. I could swim, I could do everything. So I'm just oblivious. I'm staring at them. And they're like, Trevor, you know that thing called cancer? And I was like, oh, sure. It's that weird little thing where it makes people super sick, right? And they lose their hair? And she's like, yeah, but there's plenty of other different kinds of cancer. And I just said, so what are you saying? And she just looks at me, saying, you have a different cancer called sarcoma. Its real name is cybermaroxide sarcoma cancer. She said it real slow so I could understand. And I said, so what does it do to me? It makes people lose their limbs, they could die, it could stay in their system for years and come back one day and just kill them. And just... And I was like, no, you're joking, I don't have that. Why would you joke with me like that? Just looking at her.
5 seconds and counting.
Let me inside, Castle, thank you.
Op 4 drone has located the biohazard container.
And like, I didn't know how to respond to any of this, because I've never had to deal with this. So I try to stand myself up again, and she tries to help me, and I'm like, no, I don't need help, I'm fine. And I couldn't get up, I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. I was completely pointless to have around. I was kind of a waste. I couldn't do anything. So that's what I thought. So I just sat there, waiting. Oh my god! Oh, I was too scared to fucking shoot him in the head. So I spent like months in there, on bed rest, trying to relearn how to walk and do everything.
Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
The time I finally got to go back to school, it was painful. I couldn't use a walker in school. I thought, hey, I would look like an old man. I'd get made fun of. So I told the doctors that, and they said, well, then I guess you can just go and, like, I don't know, go play in a fucking wheelchair then. I was like, okay, a wheelchair sounds fun. And I was thinking of some kind of super advanced, like, overkill wheelchair that's like all souped up and shit. No, it was a, it was like an old school wheelchair that's super hard to push. And I just was like, ugh. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. School story, school story, school story. School cancer, that's it. By the way, the ribbon, it's a color yellow. Please. Most people don't talk about this cancer, but please, do some research on it. You should know like other cancers than the mainstream cancers, like leukemia or breast cancers. That's all anybody ever celebrates. Well, not celebrates, mourns, but there's plenty of other cancers that out there that have hurt people. A lot. Trust me on that. I'm back. Oh shit, that was super close to my mouth. I'm sorry. Uh, I'm back, and well, school cancer. Well, I kind of sat in a chair, like I didn't want to seem like I need special help or desperate or anything. So I got out of my wheelchair, put it to my side real quick, kind of like a door in a way. Just put it on the desk, leaning up against the desk and the chair, kind of like, you know, you would push it out, and then you'd be out. Because I had a giant cast on my leg. Now, you know how most people want to sign things on your cast? No one ever did that for me. Nope. So I just kind of sat back, relaxed, and, well, you know, did nothing wrong to my knowledge. So I just sat there. So I was very confused one day when, like, the teacher walked up to me. I was just looking at her, and she's like, Trevor, would you like to put your leg up? And I was like, no, I'm okay. Trevor, the doctors and your mom said you have to keep the leg up. Would you like a chair? No, I'm okay. And she just stared at me. I just said, can I go back to my work now, please? She just said, Trevor, you need to put your leg up. But I'm okay. Just, I didn't want to put my leg up. I didn't want to draw more attention to myself. I already had a rough childhood. I didn't know how people would react. I didn't want more attention. I thought I could just stay, you know, myself, the shy, scared kid who doesn't want everyone's attention all the time.
Op 4 drone located the biohazard container. seconds to insertion. Op 4 drone has located the biohazard container.
But she continued on it. She kept pressing on it like, I need to do this. Like, it's something that I must do. And I kept pushing, no, please don't make me. I don't want to do this. I shouldn't have to do this.
Reinforcing the wall.
And she just kept going at it. And it just scared me. Like, I didn't know why, but my teacher seemed like it is a 100% must. You must do this or you will die. And there I go dying because I'm fucking blind. But she continued to do it. And I was just so confused on the whole matter. These cameras are pointless to have.
Swapping mags.
Can't they watch another angle? I have a fucking camera here. There's one here. There's one here. There's one here. There's one here. But I finally put my leg up because, you know, she said she just wasn't giving up. So I was like, fine, I'll put my leg up just because you won't give up. And she's like, that's a good boy. And she's like, what? Like, am I a dog now? Do I go arf? And she just,
One Op 4
she
remaining.
just wasn't letting up. Of course, people are gonna vote to kick me. Oh, that's probably a yes. And they fucking destroy it for no reason. Let me guess, that's a yes?
Friendly, last operator standing.
I didn't do anything wrong. He's not gonna be on cameras. And this guy's fucking throwing. What's he? What's he doing? Yeah, okay. There. Like, okay, so that story's basically over. I'm just
Down to
gonna
15
end that
seconds.
story there, because it's basically where it ends.
10 seconds to go.
Thinking of what else the story is, like, I could say
5
for
seconds to
now.
go.
I think that's actually gonna be the end of this live stream.
Op 4 failed to secure the container in time.
Like, I have nothing else to say. So that's gonna be the end of this live stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And I guess I'll see you all in the next video.